Let's see here. As far as the triggers or the back spring, the palm spring, basically what I did was I went out and I bought a high-end back spring, because the one that was originally on this, it wasn't necessarily weak, but I didn't like the way that it felt. So I went out and bought a couple of cheapies, and then I went ahead and got a fairly decent priced one. I think it was through Wilson Combat, and I went ahead and installed that. I basically brought the three leaf springs. I adjusted them to the tension that I wanted so that they were still able to fit and everything else like that. As far as this safety, you are able to make slight adjustments to this. You do have to be extremely careful, just because of the fact that these things are pretty much precision made originally from the factory. I just basically did very minimal work on it with a hard Arkansas stone. I just filed it down a little bit in areas so that it would make it just a little bit crisper. It was a little bit on the soft side when I originally got it, so I just made those edges that are in there just a little bit sharper so that it would go ahead and snap in a lot better, as you can feel. That I did have to do a lot of review work to find out. Did have to go into some libraries and read up on it, basic gunsmithing. As far as the trigger work, I just basically followed everything that Nut and Fancy's Impact Guns trigger job guy did. I just went in, did a little bit of polishing and making sure that everything was nice and crisp. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm not applying a whole lot of pressure. I just made it so that it was a whole lot smoother, and it just feels a whole lot better to me. There's still a little bit of grittiness in there, but you're gonna have that with everything. You are gonna have a little bit of play. You want a little bit of play. I didn't want to go too far. I didn't want to really chance doing any severe damage, but this was a little bit further out before, so brought it in just a little bit, and it's just a little bit smoother. I do believe I haven't actually hooked up with the entire poundage on it to see exactly where it's at. I think it's probably at like 4.5, maybe 5 pounds, in consideration to feeling my Glock and my 357 and where they're at, and where I know that they're at, should I say. Let's see here, other parts. I did polish the barrel. When I originally got it, it was pretty scuffed up there, so I did a little bit of polishing to it. Let's see here, other parts. There are some other internals that I did polish up, made them just a little bit smoother. Didn't remove a whole lot of metal, but it's just like stropping a knife. You just make it so that it's just polished. You get just a nice little glimmer to it, and it makes your actions a whole lot smoother on just about everything. I do believe I had spoken about replacing my springs, replaced my fire spring, or my firing pin spring. Let's see here. The sights. These sights have no basic points, or circles, or objects. I don't know if you guys can see that, or it's kind of dark on this side. I don't know how well that comes through. It's not like doing the knives, but there are these grooves on the back side. Those do help cut down the light reflection, and they're also at the point. They're all right inside of there. They're very well done grooves, and I love the sights on this thing. The lineup is excellent. I have sandbagged this, and I do believe that I came in at under a 3-inch MOA at 25 yards. So it definitely fires reasonably good. 3-inch. I'm not the best handgun shooter. I will admit that. In comparison to rifle shooting, but overall, this gun does very good for me. If you guys are into guns and have never fired a 1911, everybody's going after the Springfield XDs and XDMs and Glocks and everything else like that. I would suggest getting a 1911. If it's going to be your first firearm that you're going to purchase, you can't ever go wrong with a 1911. These are great guns. I don't ever suggest it to anyone that minors go out shooting unsupervised or anything like that. So I'm not that type of a person. So I'm not necessarily suggesting this to anybody. If you do not have or have not had firearm training, definitely get some before you go out shooting, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing and it's dangerous. And so I always promote safety. Safety is first thing. Every time that I go shooting, we go to areas. I will show you some videos of some areas that we go to out in the national parks, and they have good backdrops and very, very minimal chance of ricochets or the chance of somebody getting hurt, somebody coming driving along and crossing your path, or motorcyclists or people hiking in the background that might be hit or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, if you want a 1911, I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend that you go shopping around. There are a lot of very well known 1911 makers. Springfield has an excellent beginner's 1911 that is at a very good price. I think the last time that I saw it, I can't remember the exact model number, but they had them up for like $529 for a 1911. I mean, it didn't come with anything extra on it, and it was a bit rough around the edges, but for a starter, I mean, you can't really go wrong. I mean, that is a mod gun just waiting to happen, once you get some experience with it. But yeah, I'd suggest a 1911 to anybody that's looking to get a handgun. Over, all the hype and everything else with all these new guns that are coming out. Yes, it is technology and all that other stuff, but how can you go wrong when you've got a 1911 that has been working since the 1918, 1911? It's almost 100 years old, and these things are reliable. Yeah, they have their issues. What gun doesn't? You're gonna have misfires. You're gonna have hangers. You're gonna have just basically anything. The only way to go absolutely solid without the chances of anything ever bad happening is to go with a revolver. And I'm out of time again. I'm sorry, guys, but good night. And this is my last review on the 1911 for now. Thanks, bye.